December 23rd, 2025. 357 days into this year, and what's about to unfold in the next 48 hours could be one of the most dangerous Christmas Eves in California history. Are you in Southern California right now? Are your loved ones? Because what I'm about to tell you in the next 30 seconds could save lives. The National Weather Service just issued something they almost never issue. A high risk. Not a watch. Not even a warning. A high risk of excessive rainfall for portions of Southern California. And it's happening tomorrow, Christmas Eve, the day families gather, the day we celebrate peace on Earth. But here's what you need to know right now, and I promise you, at the 5-minute mark, I'll tell you exactly which neighborhoods are already under evacuation orders, and why meteorologists with decades of experience are using words like life-threatening and devastating. 4 to 7 inches of rain. That's the widespread forecast. But wait, here's the shock. Isolated spots could see 9, maybe even 10 inches, in less than 24 hours. Let me put that in perspective. 10 inches of rain is nearly a quarter of what Los Angeles gets in an entire year, falling in one day. Now you might be thinking, I've seen rain before. I've lived through storms. 2005, 2010. We were fine. And that's exactly what worries me, because this isn't like those years. This is an atmospheric river. Picture a fire hose in the sky, 300 miles wide, pointed directly at the mountains north and west of Los Angeles. Here's the question that should be burning in your mind right now. Why is this different? The terrain. God created those beautiful transverse ranges and coastal slopes for a reason, but when an atmospheric river hits them, something terrifying happens. The mountains squeeze that moisture like wringing out a towel. All that water has to go somewhere, and it goes down, fast. I'm going to tell you something that happened to a meteorologist who grew up in this exact area. When he was a kid, his entire town got cut off. One road in, one road out, both blocked by mudslides. For 3 days, they couldn't leave. Couldn't get supplies, couldn't get help. That could happen again, tomorrow. The heaviest rain arrives Wednesday and persists through Thursday morning. That's an 18-hour window. 18 hours of intense downpours that could overwhelm drainage systems that were never designed for this. But here's where it gets even more concerning. And I want you to stay with me because at the 3-minute 20-second mark, I'm going to show you the tornado risk map, and you won't believe what you're seeing. Towns will literally get cut off. Not might. Will. Many of these canyon communities only have 1 or 2 roads. When mudslides hit, and they will hit, those roads become impassable. Now, I know it's Christmas Eve. I know you have plans, family coming over, maybe you're hosting dinner. You don't want to think about weather. But let me ask you this. What good is Christmas dinner if you can't get to it? Or worse, if you're trapped away from your family? Some evacuation orders are already in effect. Around Malibu. Around burn scar areas, places where the ground is already vulnerable. Here's something most people don't understand about burn scars. When fire strips away vegetation, it doesn't just remove trees and brush, it creates a water-repellent layer in the soil, like wax. When rain hits, instead of soaking in, it runs off, creating flash floods and debris flows that move faster than you can run, faster than you can drive. And here's the twist nobody's talking about. This is happening during peak travel time, Christmas Eve, one of the busiest travel days of the year. Interstate 5. Highway 99. These major routes could become death traps Wednesday night. But wait, there's more. And this is where it gets truly bizarre. Tornadoes. In California, on Christmas Eve. I'm looking at a 2% tornado risk for Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento. Now, 2% might not sound like much, but let me tell you what that actually means. That's the same level of risk that produces tornado warnings in the Plains states. California doesn't get tornadoes like this, especially not in December. We've got a screaming 100-knot mid-level jet stream. That's winds of 115 miles per hour at about 20,000 feet in the atmosphere, punching over the region, creating intense wind shear. What does that mean for you? It means these storms, even though they're low-topped, even though they don't look like classic tornado producers, they can spin. And when they spin over populated areas, people get hurt. We're not expecting a Plains-style outbreak, but we are expecting brief tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail, particularly dangerous for drivers. Imagine this. You're on Interstate 5, Christmas Eve, trying to get to your family. The rain is already making visibility terrible. and then a tornado warning gets issued in California. Where do you go? There are no basements in California. No storm shelters every few miles like in Oklahoma. This is unprecedented, and it's happening in less than 24 hours. Now let me tell you about the promise I made. The evacuation orders. Here they are. Areas around Malibu, specifically near recent burn scars. If you're in these areas and you get an evacuation order, you go. Immediately. Don't wait. Don't think about it. Don't pack everything. Grab your family, grab your important documents, and go. Because once that rain starts, once those mudslides begin, you won't have a choice anymore. But here's something beautiful in all of this chaos. Here's where faith comes in. Communities are already coming together. Churches are opening their doors as shelter locations. Neighbors are checking on neighbors. Prayer groups are forming. In times like these, we remember what Christmas is really about. Not the presents, not the perfect dinner, but being together, staying safe. Trusting in God's protection while also using the wisdom He gave us to prepare. Remember the parable of the wise and foolish builders? The wise man built his house on rock. The foolish man built on sand. When the rains came, when the floods rose, only one house stood. Right now, being wise means heeding warnings. It means preparing. It means not taking chances. Now, while Southern California floods, let me tell you what's happening in the mountains, because this is equally shocking. Sierra Nevada. 4 to 8 feet of snow. Did you hear that? Not 4 to 8 inches. 4 to 8 feet. That's taller than most people. That's enough snow to bury a car. In some places, especially above 7,000 feet, we could see the full 8 feet. And here's the terrifying part. It's not light, fluffy powder. It's concrete like snow, heavy, wet, the kind that breaks tree branches, that collapses roofs, that traps vehicles. Donner Pass on Interstate 80. Travel will be nearly impossible. Not just difficult, impossible. I know some of you are thinking about that white Christmas, dreaming of snow, maybe planning a last-minute trip to the mountains. Don't. Even experienced drivers, people who've lived in the mountains their entire lives, are being warned to stay home, because this is the kind of snow that strands you for days. Snowfall rates are going to ramp up aggressively late tonight. They're going to peak Wednesday with rates exceeding 2 to 3 inches per hour. Per hour, for hours. Imagine standing outside and measuring the snow. Coming back an hour later and it's 3 inches deeper. Coming back another hour and it's 3 inches deeper again. That's what we're talking about. And it continues heavy through Thursday. Here's a question. How long can you survive in your car if you get stranded? Do you have blankets, food, water, a full tank of gas to run the heater? Most people don't think about these things until it's too late. But it's not all chaos and danger across the country. And this is where we see God's hand in the bigger picture. The Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, you're getting snow too, but manageable snow, beautiful snow, white Christmas snow. Light to moderate snow continues through New York, through New England. Some higher elevations will see more than 8 inches, 4 inches in the valleys. This is the snow people dream about, the kind you see on Christmas cards, the kind that makes everything peaceful and quiet and beautiful. And here's the fascinating contrast. While California battles atmospheric rivers and tornado risks, while the mountains get buried under 8 feet, the central United States is experiencing something completely different. Record-breaking warmth. Christmas Day temperatures 25 to 30 degrees above average. Places like Topeka, Kansas City, they're probably going to break their daily high temperature records. Now, some of you might be upset about that. I wish we were having a white Christmas too. But here's the thing we need to understand. That warmth, that ridge of high pressure sitting over the middle of the country, it's actually protecting you. It's like a force field, keeping all this unsettled, dangerous weather away from the heartland. It's keeping your family safe while California and the mountains battle these extreme conditions. Sometimes blessings come in unexpected forms. Maybe your blessing this Christmas is not snow. Maybe it's safety. Maybe it's being able to travel easily to see your grandchildren. Maybe it's not having to worry about power outages or frozen pipes. Count those blessings. Now here's what I need you to understand about the next several days, because this story isn't over at Christmas. That moisture train is going to continue to pummel the West Coast. I see no end in sight until Saturday. Day after day after day of heavy rain and mountain snow. But then our focus shifts back east. Around the 29th through the 31st, As we approach New Year's, another shot of snow possible in the Northeast. And here's the big picture pattern change. A major cold front is coming to the eastern United States. It's going to bring temperatures back down below average. It's going to turn those lake effect snow machines back on. But there's another system, the day after Christmas, and this one brings a different kind of danger. Ice. A pretty significant ice threat to Wisconsin, Michigan. I'm looking at Friday morning models showing a lot of accumulating ice. That moves down into Pennsylvania, then maybe more snow in New Jersey, New York City approaching Saturday. This has the potential of dropping 6 to 8 inches of snow in some places. Ice is particularly treacherous, more dangerous than snow in many ways, because you can't see it on the road. Black ice, power lines coated in ice, snapping under the weight, tree branches breaking. If you're in Wisconsin or Michigan, Friday morning is going to require extreme caution. Now let me circle back to California for a moment, because I want to make sure this message is crystal clear. If you live in Southern California, particularly in canyon areas, particularly near burn scars, this is a life-threatening emergency situation. Not an exaggeration, not hype, life-threatening. Once the rain starts, you've got to be on guard. Areas that normally don't flood are likely to flood this time. Your past experience doesn't guarantee future safety. Every rainstorm is different. This one is exceptional. Please heed any evacuation orders immediately. Your life is worth more than your possessions. Your family is worth more than staying in your home. And if you're planning to travel through California on Wednesday, especially Wednesday night, please reconsider. The combination of flooding, mudslides, reduced visibility, and possible tornadoes makes travel extremely dangerous. Is it worth the risk? Here's something I want you to think about. In the Bible, there are numerous stories of storms. Jesus calming the storm, Noah and the flood, Paul's shipwreck. In every case, the people who survived were the ones who either trusted God completely or who took wise action based on the knowledge they had. We have knowledge now. We have warnings. We have technology that can predict these events days in advance. That's a blessing. That's a gift. Use it. Faith doesn't mean being foolish. Faith means trusting God and using the wisdom He's given us. Proverbs 22:3 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." Be prudent, see the danger, take refuge. Now, let me talk about what happens after this storm system moves through California. The West Coast isn't going to get a break. More atmospheric rivers are lining up. This pattern looks locked in through at least Saturday, possibly longer. What does that mean? It means cumulative impacts. The ground is already going to be saturated from the first storm. When the second one hits, there's nowhere for the water to go. Flash flooding becomes even more likely. And in the mountains, that snow just keeps piling up. 4 feet from the first storm, then another 2 or 3 feet from the next one, then another. Buildings aren't designed to hold that much snow on their roofs. If you own property in the mountains, you need to think about snow removal. You need to think about structural integrity. Here's a twist most people don't consider. After massive snowfall, there's often a warm-up, and when you get rain on top of all that snow, you get rapid melting, which leads to flooding downstream. So communities that aren't even getting the snow directly could face flood risks in the following weeks. It's all connected. Everything in weather systems is connected. The atmospheric river hitting California is being steered by that ridge of high pressure over the central U.S., which is being influenced by the jet stream pattern, which is affected by ocean temperatures, which are influenced by El Niño or La Niña patterns. God designed a remarkable system, complex beyond our full understanding, and sometimes that system produces extremes. Let me paint you a picture of what Christmas morning might look like in different parts of America. In Southern California, people waking up to the sound of rain on the roof, checking their phones for evacuation updates, praying the roads stay clear. Some families already in shelters, trying to make the best of an unexpected Christmas location. In the Sierra Nevada, people who got stranded in their vehicles overnight, waiting for rescue. Snow piled so high against windows you can't see out. The Christmas they'll never forget, but not for the reasons they hoped. In the Northeast, a perfect white Christmas. Kids playing in fresh snow, families gathered around warm fires, the weather cooperating beautifully. In the heartland, temperatures in the 60s, maybe 70s, people in short sleeves on Christmas Day. Strange, but safe. Grandparents able to take walks with grandchildren without bundling up. each region experiencing this holiday so differently, yet all part of the same country, all watching the same weather patterns play out. And here's what I want you to remember. No matter where you are, no matter what weather you're experiencing, Christmas is about hope, about light coming into darkness, about God's love for us being so great that He sent His Son. Weather doesn't change that, storms don't diminish that, even dangerous, life-threatening situations don't erase that truth. But God also gave us brains, and forecasters, and technology, and warning systems, and we honor Him by using those gifts wisely. So if you're in a dangerous area, evacuate. If you're in a safe area, maybe you can help those who aren't. Open your home to evacuees. Donate to relief organizations. Pray for those in harm's way. That's the Christmas spirit in action. Now, let me tell you what happens in the days after Christmas, because this weather pattern has more surprises in store. That cold front I mentioned, the one coming to the eastern U.S., it's going to be significant. We're talking about a temperature drop of 20 to 30 degrees in some places within 24 hours. If you're enjoying 70s on Christmas Day in Kansas, you might be in the 30s by the weekend. That's a shock to the system, literally. For people and for infrastructure, pipes that were fine in warm weather suddenly at risk of freezing. Car batteries that struggle in sudden cold. Heating systems that haven't been tested all season suddenly working overtime. And those lake effect snow machines I mentioned? When cold air blows over the relatively warm waters of the Great Lakes, it picks up moisture and dumps it as snow on the downwind shores. Buffalo, Cleveland, Erie. These cities know lake effect well, but this could be an impressive early season lake effect event. Some models are suggesting 2 to 3 feet of snow in the persistent lake effect bands. 2 to 3 feet, in a matter of days. If you live in these areas, you know the drill. But maybe your family from out of town visiting for the holidays doesn't. Make sure everyone knows what to expect. Make sure everyone has warm clothes. Make sure cars have emergency kits. Here's a pattern I'm seeing that concerns me. We're entering a very active weather pattern across the entire country. Not just California, not just the mountains, everywhere. That usually means surprises. Computer models can predict the big picture, but they struggle with details. Exactly where that band of heavy lake effect sets up. Exactly which neighborhoods get the worst of the ice storm. Exactly where that tornado touches down. Which means you need to stay alert. Keep checking forecasts. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. Weather radio, phone alerts, local news. Don't let your guard down just because Christmas is over. In fact, here's something that might shock you. Statistically, some of the worst winter storms in American history have occurred between December 26th and January 2nd, the week between Christmas and New Year's. Why? Because people are traveling, visiting family, distracted by holidays, not paying as much attention to weather as they normally would. And weather doesn't care that you're on vacation. Weather doesn't take holidays off. So, as we move into that period, I need you to stay weather aware, check forecasts before traveling, have backup plans, don't push your luck. Now, let me address something I know some of you are thinking. Is this climate change? Is this the new normal? I'm not going to get political, but I will say this. Weather patterns are complex. Any single event can't be attributed solely to one cause, but we are seeing more extreme events, more atmospheric rivers, more intense rainfall, more temperature swings. Whether you believe in human-caused climate change, or you believe it's natural cycles, or you believe it's part of God's plan, the result is the same. We need to be prepared for extremes. We need better infrastructure, better warning systems, better community preparation, better personal readiness. We can debate the causes later. Right now, we need to focus on keeping people safe. And speaking of keeping people safe, let me give you some practical advice for the next few days. If you're in Southern California, have an evacuation plan. Know where you'll go. Have important documents ready. Keep your car's gas tank full. Have emergency supplies. Water, food, flashlights, batteries, first aid kit. Charge all your devices. Stay informed. If you're in the Sierra Nevada, don't travel unless absolutely necessary. If you must travel, carry emergency supplies in your car. Blankets, food, water, shovel, sand, or kitty litter for traction. Full tank of gas. Tell someone your route and expected arrival time. If you're in the Northeast dealing with snow, take your time. Leave early. Clean snow off your entire car, not just the windshield. Have a scraper and brush. Keep a small shovel in your car. Watch for black ice. If you're in Wisconsin or Michigan watching for ice, stay off the roads Friday morning if possible. If power goes out, don't use generators indoors. Check on elderly neighbors. Bring pets inside. If you're in the warm central US, enjoy it, but be ready for the cold front. Service your heating system now if you haven't. Check weather stripping on doors and windows. Bring in any outdoor plants that might not survive the sudden cold. These are simple things, but they save lives. Now here's something beautiful I want to share with you. In every disaster, in every storm, we see the best of humanity emerge. Neighbors helping neighbors. Strangers rescuing strangers. Churches opening doors. Communities coming together. That's the real story. Not just the storm, but how we respond to it. I've seen it time and time again. Hurricane, tornado, flood, blizzard. Every single time, ordinary people become heroes. First responders work around the clock. Volunteers show up without being asked. That's who we are as Americans. That's who we are as people of faith. When crisis comes, we don't hide, we help. So yes, this is a dangerous weather pattern. Yes, people are at risk. Yes, this Christmas will be challenging for some. But I have faith in the forecasters doing their best to warn us, in the emergency responders ready to save us, in the communities ready to support us, in God's protection over us all. And I have faith in you to make wise decisions, to help others, to be part of the solution. As we close out this forecast, I want to leave you with this thought. This Christmas might not be what you planned. The weather might disrupt your perfect holiday vision. You might be evacuating instead of celebrating, sheltering instead of traveling, worried instead of peaceful. But the meaning of Christmas remains. Emmanuel, God with us. In the storms, in the chaos, in the uncertainty. He's with us. So stay safe, stay informed, stay connected to your community and your faith. And remember that after every storm, there's a clearing. After every long night, there's a dawn. This weather pattern will pass. These storms will end. But the decisions you make in the next 48 hours could determine whether you and your loved ones make it through safely. Take the warnings seriously. Take action now. Don't wait. And one more thing before I let you go. The weather doesn't end with this system. As I mentioned, we've got more snow potential around the 29th through 31st. We've got that major cold front. We've got ongoing risks through New Year's. So make sure you stay tuned for updates. Check back regularly. The forecast will change as we get new data. What looks certain today might shift tomorrow. That's the nature of weather. But one thing won't change. My commitment to keeping you informed, to giving you the information you need to stay safe, to presenting it clearly and honestly without hype but without downplaying real risks. This is a critical weather period for America. From the atmospheric river in California, to the mountain blizzard in the Sierra, to the ice threat in the upper Midwest, to the cold front coming to the east. We're all in this together. Different storms, different risks, but one nation, one community, looking out for each other. So God bless you. God bless your families. God keep you safe through these storms. And may you find peace and joy this Christmas season no matter what weather comes your way. Stay weather aware, stay safe, and we'll get through this together.